we are using different things to control pests in the farm. We are using both biological means, chemical means, and mechanical means.
What are you growing? Are you growing vegetables? Are you growing herbs?
We are into organic vegetables and spices. Crops that are considered extinct or exotic in nature.
How different is organic from growing in the greenhouse?
Greenhouse doesn't necessarily mean organic.
Okay.
When we say kweposhito, we have varieties.
Okay.
We have habaneros in red, yellow. We have in black, and we have in black and purple. We have in purple. I stopped work 2021, October of 2021. Yes. To do green space full time.
Wow.
Yes. And before then, I did a lot of calculations. Accra, stay by plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came to my house. I wanted to do some gardening. I have a big backyard. I wanted to do something that never happened.
Yes.
How did you get into plants and why? Why plants?
Okay.
I mean, with everything, social media and the way there seems to be a lot of money to make from social media now, why plants?
Yeah, so I have to laugh because I just remembered the past.
All right.
Yeah, so why plants? Now, I'm taking you back again
All right.
because it's like my life is a literal journey.
All right.
Senior high school or secondary school, Akosombo International, food. I studied food.
Okay.
Growing up, I wasn't a foodie. I would eat because there's food to eat.
Okay.
I never used to eat on time and all of that. So I developed ulcer.
Okay.
Right. I never used to have appetite for food, or I didn't even feel hungry. Yeah. So growing up, after studying food and nutrition, the importance and all of that, and trying so many different dishes that were not just local, it excited me.
Okay.
I like exciting things. So during school time, I used to cook a lot. I cook for my friends just because it makes... University, yeah.
Okay.
I used to cook, invite my friends. We used to have breakfast parties. I know.
Where was I?
Yeah, where were you?
All right.
Breakfast parties and all of that. I just try new stuff, and then, if it works, it works.
Okay.
We enjoy it. If it doesn't work well,
you go back
to the drawing board. Yeah, so that was where food started. After national service, my interest for food grew.
Okay.
The only way I could eat food is if it looks appealing.
Okay.
The color, the smell, the presentation, the plating has to be on point.
Yeah.
That encourages me to eat. I eat with all my senses.
Okay.
Before I even taste the food. Yeah. So, and I once had serious interest in food photography.
Okay.
So having to play with ingredients was one big thing. Now, there was the issue of getting my ingredients, especially with, the foreign dishes.
Okay.
I have to get some celery, some parsley, and all of these things, some marjoram, and I have to go all the way to, at the time, ShopRite, supermarket.
Yeah.
And I go there like twice in a week.
Wow.
It's not sustainable. And at the time, I used to like cooking my own food because I got to a stage in my life where I couldn't eat food that I cooked 2 days ago.
Whoa.
Yeah. I always wanted it to be fresh. Yes. Which sounds lame in my head, but that was the situation. So I needed these ingredients. I'm like, okay, I've always loved plants way back as a kid. I remember 9 years, I wanted a garden outside around the house. My mom assured me the contractor would do it because it was a new house. I went to school, came back, and I realized the gentleman had cemented
the entire place.
the entire place. I was sad because I wanted to have a garden. I cried, but well, it's so that the nostalgia of having plants around came back,
okay.
and I wanted to grow my own crops.
All right.
So I started growing a few things in my balcony.
Okay.
It was good. I enjoyed it, and once you start gardening and you start enjoying it, there's no
Okay.
going back.
Wow.
It just gets worse and worse. You want to have more plants. Yes.
So that brought you here.
That brought me here.
Now you're making money out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, this morning I was telling a friend that plants, for me, once my boy turns 8, 9, 10, I want to hand over a plant to him, because the way you take care of it teaches you how to take care of things. So, you don't have to water the plant either in the morning, you have to water it depends on what you have to take care of, otherwise it will die.
Yeah.
If it dies, you are in trouble. So for me, how were you able to manage that? Were you growing these spices or herbs whilst you were working, or you decided to put a stop to work and go full time into growing these herbs?
You mean as a business or?
As a business, I mean, at the early stages.
Okay, so no, I was still working.
You were still working, okay.
Yeah, I remember days where I have orders from customers. I get up early, I do everything, and mind you, the plants were not the same place I was leaving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is another story altogether. But
Alright.
yes, the plants were not at the same place I was leaving. So I had to leave home. It's 4 minutes away.
Okay.
Walk to the garden, water the plants, prepare orders, carry them with me.
Deliver them.
Oh, take public transport, by the way.
Okay. You were not driving then.
I wasn't driving.
All right.
Public transport all the way from Adenta to East Legon.
Okay.
Public transport, three cars.
Yeah, it depends on
Yes.
where, because if it's Legon, Shashi
Yes.
Connect or Medina Connect.
Three trochers to get to work, and when I get to work, I package it down, and then I call the delivery guy, and he comes to pick it up and send to the customers. So that was the hassle. It wasn't
Wow.
easy,
Wow.
but plants, should I say, played a very vital role in my life.
Okay.
Plants centered me at some point,
Okay.
right? They are therapeutic. They make me happy. When you're stressed, just go plant something. It relaxes you. It makes you forget your worries. The frustration, you forget it for a little bit, right? Plants can do that. So it was fun. It was enjoyable.
All right.
I always say one thing that is, I can't do any work that I do not have love or I do not enjoy.
Okay.
I can't.
That's true. I mean, that's true for me. So at what point did you decide that, okay, I was going to give up on all these social media stuff, all this marketing, and then focus on being a horticulturist?
Yeah. Yes, I got my first job. But the thing is, my first job at some point could not take care of my expenses.
Okay.
Because mind you, I have rent to pay. I wasn't depending on mom and dad for that. I had rent to pay. I had to take care of my upkeep and all of that. So once a freelancer, always a freelancer,
Okay.
right? So I started freelancing digital marketing whilst I was working for other businesses, small businesses mostly. I manage their social media. When they want to run adverts, I run all of that for them
All right.
on their various accounts and everything on my spare time. So that was bringing in some money. Okay. I was doing this whilst Green Space
Okay.
has started. My business has started.
Okay.
Green Space started somewhere 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, I think around this time
Around the same time we met.
yeah. Yeah, so that was happening, freelancing was happening, and everything else in between. Oh, and yeah, food was still happening because
Okay, you were
I
still-
had a food page by then where I used to cook and then post.
Whoa.
Yes, I didn't get the camera I wanted at the time, but
Okay.
I still used my phone to take the photos, my food photos, and post it online, videos online, and all of that. It was fun.
Okay.
So all of these things were happening, right? Fast forward, I stopped work 2021,
Okay.
October of 2021. Yes, to do Green Space full time.
Wow.
Yes. And before then, I did a lot of calculations. Accra, stay by plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, when I was able to pay you, so did you stop the freelancing, or you were still doing freelancing
I was still
together
doing
with?
freelancing
Okay,
at the time.
okay,
I was still doing freelancing at the time because I needed to take care of some expenses that I didn't want to take out of Green Space.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
I needed to give, not take at the time.
All right.
So freelancing was still happening. I think at the time I had about 2-3 freelance gigs happening. Yes. Yeah.
Good. So, how has it been so far? So, 2020 to now, almost 4 years with Green Space.
Oh my God. That's
How has the
4 years.
journey been? I remember you had a gig. You had to do something for Central University back then.
Yeah.
I think we also went to check a space I wanted to take around Third Gate.
yes.
Around Third Gate, I wanted to take a space around there also. That was when you had the Central University gig.
Yeah.
How has it been? I know you do stuff for schools as well.
Yes.
So we'll touch on that. But how's the journey been? You also have a team now. How's the journey be? How do you start employing people? How's it been for you?
Yeah. Wow, a lot of things have happened.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. That's why it's good to write down your journey as it
Yeah.
goes. Yeah, Central University is still going actually. So what happened with Central University was I was invited to come in as a guest lecturer a couple of times.
Okay.
And I still do that
Okay.
with Central University. Mostly, it started off with marketing, digital marketing.
Okay.
And then it went into entrepreneurship, into running an SME,
Okay.
and all of that. And we are still on that journey. Yes, yes.
All right. All right. So now Green Space, you have a team of how many people now?
So we are currently 5. Yeah.
5. How did you get there?
Huh. We started with just me,
Okay.
of course, for a very long time.
Okay.
Very long time. We started with just me. I did everything. I was the gardener. I was the customer service rep. I was the digital marketer.
Okay.
What else is there? I mean, I was
You
everything.
do the packaging, do the delivery,
I was
look for the customers, everything, sales.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
whilst I was everything during that time, because I had good background in marketing, I mean, I was doing branding, real
Okay.
correct branding, packaging bags, everything, not rubber
Wow,
bags.
wow.
Everything was going on.
All right.
Yeah. So Green Space, I think until last year, before we had the numbers.
Okay.
Okay, so that'll be after 2
After
2 years.
2 years, yeah.
After 2 years of running the business before.
So you were solely the one behind doing everything for 2 good years.
No.
Okay.
After getting to the end of the first year, I employed someone on a part-time basis where he just comes in early in the morning
Okay.
to water the plants, spray them if need be, and then goes, right? Because the cost, I wasn't
Yeah.
ready to handle that.
All right.
So he was just doing a part-time, 3 hours in the morning, and then he's gone, that
Okay.
kind of thing. And it evolved to a full-time person. Yeah, and that wasn't enough because the business needed more.
Okay.
And then it evolved into getting administrator, and then evolved into getting trainers.
Wow.
Yes, and other gardeners too. No more one gardener, more than one gardener.
Wow.
And there's still a need. The need is there,
All right.
right? It's all about the timing.
Okay. So what are you growing? Are you growing vegetables? Are you growing herbs, spices? What exactly are you growing?
So Green Space is we are a horticulture company, like you said.
Okay.
We are into organic vegetables and spices.
Okay.
That's what we are into. Organic vegetables, we're talking about both the local and the exotic, the foreign varieties,
Okay.
and the heirloom varieties. Heirloom varieties are basically crops that are considered extinct or
Okay.
exotic in nature.
Okay.
Yes, we are into that. I'm talking about when we say kwaposhito, we have varieties.
Okay.
We have habaneros in red, yellow. We have in black, and we have in black and purple. We have in
Okay.
purple.
Okay.
So you can see there's a number of varieties.
Okay.
Carrots, we have carrots in the orange carrots. We all
Oh,
know
no.
yellow, white,
That's
black.
white carrot.
Yeah.
You grow that.
Yeah.
You have customers for that.
Yes.
Does it taste the same?
doesn't taste the same.
Okay.
It doesn't taste the same. The white carrot isn't as sweet as
Orange
the orange
one.
carrots.
Okay.
Yes, isn't as sweet as the orange, but it's the variety. I like variety.
I mean,
Yes,
why?
it's exciting.
Yeah.
Everything comes in varieties.
I remember you showed me a picture of, was it a purple cabbage or a purple lettuce? Trying to remember what it was. You showed me.
Yeah.
Was it a purple lettuce or cabbage?
We have both.
I was like, wow.
We have both, so
Okay.
it could be any of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you find your customers? Are you selling to the 5-star restaurants, or because, I mean, for what I do, I always go for the orange carrot. Never gone for anything yet.
Yeah.
Probably will go for some fresh herbs and spices, but not the exotic one. So how do you find these customers? And are they paying?
Okay. So yes, we are into vegetables and spices, right? But then this is the service we provide. So we are into input sales, where we sell plants, live plants, vegetables, at seedling stage, matured plants, and
Okay.
also ones that are already potted. You just need to carry to your house, harvest, and keep watering, and they'll keep giving you.
Okay.
We also do setups, right?
Okay.
Where we set up garden.
Where I failed.
Yes. No, it's not too late.
Okay.
There's always hope.
All right.
Yeah. So where we set up for restaurants,
Okay.
for homes, for schools, catering companies, NGOs and the likes,
Okay.
as well as we provide consultation.
Okay.
We provide training, in vegetable propagation or production,
Okay.
both commercial growers and also small scale growers as well.
Okay.
Yes.
So of late, I hear a lot of people talking about organic, everything organic. I mean, what exactly is organic?
Okay.
Why is something called organic?
Yeah. So that is a good question. So now we have natural, we have organic, and we have inorganic. Natural is from nature. Anything from nature is natural. Right? Anything from nature. For instance, if you smell a perfume that smells like orange, that smell is from nature.
Okay.
So that's a natural smell.
Okay.
But the chemicals that were used to produce it,
I'm not.
but it's valid for you to call it natural.
Yeah, because it smells like orange, like a fresh orange.
Yes, it smells like a fresh orange.
Okay.
That's how come our essence says natural.
Essence.
Yes.
All right.
But it does not mean it's an essence. It's
Okay.
not the
Yeah.
real thing.
All right.
Yes. So when we say organic, we are talking about products that were made using organic ingredients.
Okay.
For instance, lettuce, right? We have inorganic lettuce and organic lettuce. Organic lettuce, the fertilizer we use is organic. The pesticides we use is organic. The conditions surrounding the growing of the crops are all organic, as natural as it can be.
Okay.
Yes, inorganic meaning we probably use a pesticide, an inorganic pesticide at some point.
Okay.
We use probably an NPK fertilizer at some point.
Okay.
So it becomes inorganic. Even if the fertilizer was organic and the pesticide was inorganic, it is still inorganic.
Okay.
It negates that fact. So you can't say that, I do organic, but I use
NPK,
NPK
or you
fertilizer.
use pesticides.
Yes.
Okay. How different is organic from growing in the greenhouse?
Okay.
How different is that also?
Greenhouse doesn't necessarily mean organic.
Okay.
Greenhouse just means that you're controlling the environment for
Okay.
growth. A greenhouse is a structure that controls wind, controls heat level, controls
Water,
insects,
okay.
population, and all of that. That is what a greenhouse is.
Okay.
Anything that is enclosed, that you control what comes in and goes out, is a greenhouse.
All right.
Good. So someone can be doing greenhouse but not be doing organic. They'll be using the NPKs and be using the inorganic pesticides and all of that.
Okay.
That is inorganic. And someone can be doing, greenhouse.
An open farm and
Yes. Open farm, but it's organic.
organic.
Yeah.
All right. So why going for organic? Is it because no harm, it will last longer on the shelf? Why should I go in? Because there's a lot of organic.
Yeah.
This tomatoes is organic. Why should I go in for that?
Okay, that and more. We do organic because, one, the health concerns. Now, a number of health concerns are popping up, and some are being related to the food, the growing system for those foods. And mostly these health concerns are long-term. They are not seen in the short term, right? Another is biodiversity. Now, we are experiencing a lot of insects on our farms because, so we have something we call companioning. In an integrated pest control system, we are using different things to control pests in the farm. We are using both biological means, chemical means, and mechanical means. Biological, I'm talking about using other insects to reduce the population of other insects.
Okay.
We have beneficial insects and non-beneficial ones. Okay. Now, when we use a lot of inorganic pesticides, we tend to kill the beneficial insects as well. For instance, ladybugs control the population of aphids. Aphids are a kind of pest that suck, the easiest way to explain it is to suck the juice out of the plant.
Okay.
They are breaking down the cell wall of the plant. And over time, the plant becomes weak, cannot fight, and then dies.
Okay.
Good. So ladybugs feed on aphids. Now, if you have good population of ladybugs in your farm that you're growing cucumbers, it's going to do a lot of work because aphids attack cucumbers very much. Okay. And that helps you. Good. So using inorganic pesticides destroy the population of the beneficial insects, which affects biodiversity. Okay. So we use organic to improve on that. Okay. Another reason is also the soil. Now, the soil is a vital element, okay? Within the soil are microbes that we can't see with our eyes unless we use. So these microbes, some of them have the ability to reduce or to feed on carbon in the environment. These microbes do not like heat. That's why they're in the soil. Okay. And they are the cooler regions of the soil. Sometimes when you open up the soil, you see some whitish lines like fungi. Yeah. Good. They create that. Some of them create that. And when they do that, they are trapping carbon dioxide from the atmosphere into the ground. Now, the more inorganic stuff we use on the ground, we are killing them, reducing their population. Okay. And so the carbon is also being released extra. When we till the ground, deep tillage, we are destroying their population in the soil and therefore releasing more carbon into the environment. So climate change is also another factor, another reason why you should practice organic. Okay. There are a lot of other reasons.
I get all that. So recently I got some tomatoes, and usually, growing up, you could just take the seeds and then grow them. So the tomatoes I got looked really good. So I decided to grow some, but it didn't look the same as some, not all of them even survived. Mm-hmm. What would be the reason for that?
Well, there could be a lot of reasons. So your situation was that you took some tomato seeds from a tomato you had eaten.
Fresh tomatoes,
Yeah, it was delicious, I'm sure. And beautiful. So you decided to sow that seed. It germinated, did it?
Yeah.
It germinated? Yeah. Good. Just that the fruit didn't look the same.
It didn't look the same. It wasn't,
Yes. So now sometimes we have different types of seeds, okay? We have organic, let me just say it as this, organic hybrid seeds, open pollinator seeds, hybrid seeds, and GMO seeds.
GMOs, yeah.
Good. Open pollinator seeds are basically, during the production, there was no special method for cultivating them. Okay. Good. And then the seeds are harvested, treated, packaged, and sold. Hybrid seeds, there was a special method used in producing them. For instance, we want a tomato to have the ability to fight against spider mites. Spider mites is one annoying insect that attacks tomatoes. We want it to be able to resist spider mite attack. Good. Now we plant another variety of tomato that we know that has that property. Although, that has that property. And so during pollination, the insects, the traits of that strong variety extends into the seed. Okay. Extends into the seed of that tomato that we are producing to save seed from. Okay. Now with hybrid seeds, the characteristics that has been transferred from the other plants only exist in the seed of the parent plant from which we are harvesting. Okay. It does not get carried on to generations to come. Okay. Yes, it only exists in that one. All right. So if you plant that tomato, That tomato will look big, beautiful. It will resist spider mites and all. The fruits of that resulting seed would not have those characteristics
Okay.
because a hybrid seed. It is not a genetically modified seed.
I get that. So I asked this question because I recently went to the farm and the farmers were complaining about the fact that they bought some seeds, saved some after harvesting to regrow, and they are not getting the sort of yields that they were expecting. I said, okay, probably that could be the reason. I wanted to double check with you whether,
Yeah.
that was it, and that's
That,
well
that
explained.
could that could be the reason.
It's well
Yeah,
explained.
that could be the reason. If it was an open pollinated seed,
Would
we
have
can
been-
save the seed as many times. That's how come our local propositor, we don't necessarily go looking for a seed shop to buy it from.
Okay.
Once we farm it and then we save seeds, we can use the same seeds to
grow it
produce
over and over.
again
All right.
because they're open pollinated.
All right. So, horticulture. How big is it? I mean, in terms of bringing in revenue, I know you have different aspects of it: the teaching bit, the consulting bit, the selling of the produce, certain farms for people. How big is it?
Horticulture is big, and within horticulture there is vegetables and there is ornamentals.
Okay.
We don't do ornamentals
Okay.
because we can't do everything.
Okay.
We are not trying to be everything. But then we do work with other ornamental companies. We do have setups where the customer wants an ornamental garden setup.
Okay.
And we partner with ornamental crop producers.
Okay.
We source from them and use that to do those setups. But we don't try to, no, it's not necessary. So, horticulture is big.
Okay.
Horticulture has a lot of potential, a lot of opportunities. Agriculture is a strong suit if we decide to wear it in Ghana.
All right.
It can carry us
Far.
far,
Yeah.
right? And we have many players, but not huge players
Okay.
in the agriculture industry. We have a lot of small-scale farmers. I mean, we are even
Small.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
are
you're not
very
really-
small.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very small. There is a lot to do. And looking at the returns, how things have grown, it has been a steady growth,
Okay.
right? So, like sometimes we surpass what we think,
You
what
do.
we
Plan
plan.
to do for the year.
Yeah, I like to plan.
Okay.
I like management. I like
I get that.
to do a lot of that, analytics and all of that.
Okay.
So when you see the results, you are impressed.
Okay.
Yes, and it's all hard work.
I
Yeah.
we were saying that on our way.
Yeah.
Hard work, patience,
work,
the farmer's
patience.
mindset. You need that.
Yeah.
So you're saying that it pays. He has a market for people to actually decide to go in there. If you're looking at starting a small business in the field of horticulture, does it require a lot of resources? Do I need a vast land to do it? Because the way you sound, it sounds like you are working on like a 10-acre farm or.
I'm not working on close to. I'm not. It's not a 10-acre farm.
All right.
So I keep saying steady growth, right?
Yeah.
Because I started with nothing. I started with very little. Starting the business, very little.
Okay.
But you see, patience and
Hard work.
having vision
Okay.
matters, because I had plans on where I wanted to get to. So where I was starting from, although it wasn't favorable, I managed it.
Okay.
The first money I used for the business, when the returns came, I put it back in.
Okay.
I didn't use it to go and buy a fancy dress.
Okay.
No.
You
I
delay the ego part.
I delayed that part.
Alright.
I put it back in. I got more, I put it back in. For so many years, I was
You have to
putting
plow
in.
back for the
Even
bucket.
now, I do put back in.
Okay.
I take just enough, what I need, not want, enough, and then I put it back in. There are people within the business that need to be compensated. You need to do that if you want the business to grow. If you're thinking about just you, it wouldn't grow.
That's
You
true.
need to keep your employees happy. You need to do a whole lot of other things.
Yeah.
So it's not a taking mentality. Now, our garden center is on a plot
Okay.
of land, a
Okay.
world property.
Okay.
It's not big, but because of the system we have, we cycle products through.
Okay.
You come there, looks beautiful, greens everywhere. It looks small when you hear the name from outside, green space, right?
Mm,
Just
big,
your mind goes big, until you come and you're like, oh, you have a small space, based on what they perceived it to be. They come in and they see you have a small space. Yes, a small space, but a lot goes out.
Okay.
Plants go out, new plants come
I
in.
mean, on a
The
daily.
same things don't sit there. It's merchandise. It needs to go. Yeah. So that's how it works. Now, service is also a big part of what we do.
All right.
We go out to provide service, homes of customers, offices of customers, schools,
Yeah.
and all of that. So it's not a lot on the crops themselves, but also on the relationships and the service we deliver.
All right.
Yeah.
I know you do some stuff for schools. What exactly do you do for them? Let me add, I also know that you've won the KIC School Farm for how many times? 4 times in a row?
Yeah, 4 times in a row.
All right, we'll talk about that. So what do you do for schools? What exactly do you do for them?
Okay, so with schools now, a great part of, should I say, a big part of green space is impact.
Okay.
Right. I like seeing that at the end of the year we're able to do this, we're able to touch this number of lives and all of that. It's exciting. It's interesting. It keeps me going. That kind of thing. So we run a number of advocacy programs.
Okay.
Now, the whole thing about how people view agriculture is sad. I mean, people view agriculture to be something for the less privileged.
Yeah, for the poor.
And yes. And we know that agriculture has a lot of challenges, like implements, like tools, seeds, and all of that, investments, regulation and support. We lack a lot of that.
Yeah.
And so part of Green Space's bid to help in that is to change mindsets. We want to change mindsets regarding agriculture, how people view agriculture.
Okay.
How? We want to do it from the grassroots.
All right.
That's youth. So that was where our school farm project was born.
Okay.
We wanted to work with schools that had similar vision or has slightly similar vision, where we can educate them about agriculture on a practical level.
Okay.
And then let them see the potential of agriculture, the challenges, trying to use technology to fix some of these problems. And we found, should I say, the perfect school to start with.
Okay.
Yeah, a Coronsad.
Okay.
And Innisly Gone.
Okay.
It's a bilingual school, very open-minded, and they have a huge vision for the school. So as part of their 10-year plan, agriculture was part, agriculture, culture, and other things. Yes, STEM is also part. So that's science, yes. So that was also part, and how did I even meet a Coronsad? Oh, we're recommended by a worker in the Coronsad, one of the teachers. They wanted to buy some plants, I think a couple of years ago. They called, we attended to them. They had a negative experience, I think once. The delivery guy messed up a bit. I called in to apologize. I never knew this was going to happen, right? So we kept the relationship going, accepted the faults, and we kept the relationship going. And fast forward into the future, they came to visit, and
so what you were doing?
Yeah, so what we're doing. They told us they had this interest and all of that, and we're like, okay, we can work together. Over time, we built a curriculum for agriculture. Developed their rooftop farm. The school has a rooftop, East Legon limited space, so we improved the rooftop farm and started training agriculture from primary level. And now we are working on secondary level agriculture.
Okay.
Yes. And out of that is the
KIC.
Yes, the school farm competition.
Okay.
Originally by Blue Skies, but now by KIC. Yes.
Okay.
We applied to participate, and I mean, we got in 4 years. Yeah, 4 years now. 1, 2, 3. Is it 3 or 4? One of them. 3 or 4 years now.
Okay.
We always win most innovative because we are innovative. We blend technology and agriculture that helps us stand out. And it's amazing.
I mean, I talk about KIC because I'm a product of KIC. I went to KIC in 2018, and so that's part of me.
Oh, I need to hear that story.
We'll talk about that. The managing of your team, how has it been? I mean, I know when you employ people, it's a different story. Yeah. So how have you found a way around that? How is it going? Especially if you're providing service, if it's a school, you're not going to be there. How are you managing all this?
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. Managing people is a different ballgame. People are different. People will surprise you.
Positively, I should say.
They will show you. They will test you.
All right.
You know, it hasn't been easy. It's been challenging. I mean, I have let go of people so many times. If I say I've never done that, that is a lie. I have. I mean, I think the first person I employed, the person did not last 3 months.
Whoa.
The person was gone. Because you cannot be doing the right thing and now keep motivating it. No, you have to do better or go. Yeah. Productivity is a thing for me.
All right.
There are targets. You need to meet realistic targets, of course. Yeah. Sometimes what they want at the time, you cannot provide them. So you have to let them go. Right. So it's not always just the employee not meeting up to standards. Sometimes what they want at the time, you can't give them that.
The business is not ready to do.
The business is not ready.
Yeah.
It's not there yet. Yeah. So you have to be straight with them. No, we can't provide. I can't do it.
Right.
It's not possible. It's not realistic.
Right.
And then decision has to be made. If you're willing to stick with us or not. No hard feelings. It's business. Yes. Sometimes these things happen at times that are very sensitive. You know, when you are doing a project and you need the people on the ground and they are not there. Yes.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yes, but you have to pull through, make it work. Like I said, now I'm even making it work. So you can imagine.
I can understand. So you have a system where there's a plan, everybody knows where they fit into, where they have to go. There's a reporting system.
Yes. So like I said, currently we have a gardener, we have an administrator, we have trainers, right? Okay. Good. And gardener, external gardener. Now most of the workers report to the garden center. That's their reporting post. But the trainers report to the school first. Okay. They have schedules that they meet going to the garden because there needs to be learning. There needs to be a community and meetings that we also hold. Okay. So they normally go to the garden on certain days, to our workplace on certain days, and then the school on other days. Right. So they have the schedule. Everyone has the time allotment. When you come, you're supposed to sign in. Those things are used in appraisals. Okay. Reports, deadlines have to be met, especially when you're working with clients. We also have deliverables. I have reports that need to tender in, and so they have to meet their deliverables. We have meetings regularly. Every week we have meetings, just so immediate problems be addressed. We move past it. Not that it piles up for a month, then we sit down and everybody's frustrated already, that kind of thing. So we have systems in place to check things and help with work so that we solve things very fast. Right. And that's something I learned working somewhere else. Yes.
Right. The whole management of your team, I mean, which you just mentioned you learned from somewhere else, and where you want the business to get to. Yeah. You think the team is going to get bigger, or they just have to put in a lot more time you're doing it? Because currently you do part-time, you're not doing just a few people doing full-time. Are you looking at doing a big farm where you need to have a lot of hands on the farm, or you still want to focus more on service and a few actually on the field work going on?
Okay, so I said now I'm currently recruiting for 2 positions, right? 2 full-time positions, and one part-time position. Okay. Now, the trainers are working on a part-time schedule because that is what is needed. Okay. There's need and there is want. Yeah. Right. Good. That's what is needed, and that is what we are working with now. And that's what our capacity is. Now, we have plans in terms of service to increase our clientele. And as it increases, we might need to have the trainers full-time because their schedule would become more.
I mean, we have more schools.
Yeah, and we'll surely have to employ more trainers as that happens. Now, you spoke about having a lot of people on the farm. Yes, we are working on commercial agriculture as currently. And with that, the goal is not to have a lot of people on the farm. That is just a lot of redundant labor.
Yeah.
Have labor when you need labor, right? Yes, of course, there is a farm manager who is always there. Yes, that's very necessary. The farm is a bit more mechanized. It's not, we are not depending on nature on everything, right? Yes, we are dependent on nature, but like not the usual traditional farming.
Right.
We are including some level of technology, irrigation system, and all of that. A little bit of a twist of greenhouse system in there. We like to be innovative. We like to play around with technology and make it work for us. Yes, because cost is one major issue, and we have to play around with it. So yes, commercial is happening alongside all of this. And so I need to have the right team to be able to do all of these things. Yes.
I mean, I've tried farming, and I know everybody who has done a bit of farming will tell you that you can't be an absentee farmer.
Yeah.
How are you going to manage that? Are you going to be a bit involved? How do you intend to play that role of leading a team, with most of the work being here in Accra? Because I doubt your farm will be here in Accra, probably, even if it's in Accra outskirts. So what are you looking at?
Yeah, absentee farming doesn't work. It doesn't, unless you have a magnificent team, of course, and that still requires you to be present for that to happen. Yes, so not absentee, no. Yes, so that is another reason why team is important. Having a team that knows what they're supposed to do, having checks, systems surrounding it to make it work. As said, now we have gotten to a stage where my presence is not needed on a daily basis for work to happen, which is good, because in a few months I would not be available as much because the farm is starting and I have to be at the farm. For the first major part of the farm, I have to be there more frequent because, things are now happening and
starting and all that.
Exactly. So it's going to take a bit of me. It does not mean that other services we are delivering and sales is going to go down. No, that is why there are systems, there are people who are supposed to do certain things. They play their parts. Yes, and that is being done over time for them to get used to it before
you scale up.
Exactly. So yes, so it's a journey.
All right.
Yes, it doesn't just happen abruptly. Yeah.
So I mean, when I listen to you talk about systems, would you say that you study the trends well enough to inform what you do when you scale up the farm? So you know what crops people are looking for, herbs people are looking for, vegetables people are looking for. So now you know that, okay, this farm should take 70% of this, 20% of that, 10% of this. Is that what starting small has done for you? Or you are anticipating that, we can produce, we can sell?
I would say yes, that's what starting small has helped to identify what people need.
Okay.
Right? Needs, identifying your customers' needs is very important, because if you're not able to know that, you will just be working based on your own intuition, and that doesn't work in business. It will backfire. So over time, we've studied the market. Over time, we've seen what people tend to spend their money on, and also things that are considered high-value crops.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are some of our considerations. We've already decided on what we are going to grow. We've already worked out a plan for the growing system, already worked out costing and all of that. Not that we figure that out as we go. No, all of that has been worked out. So starting small, yes, it has helped, but it doesn't mean that if you are financially stable and capable of starting big, you shouldn't. Okay. So far as you have everything. See, sometimes in Ghana, most of us don't appreciate information, but information is big.
Solves most of the problem.
Yes. If you have the right people giving the right information, you're good to go. You don't need 2 or 3 years of experience. You can leverage that person's experience to achieve the exact same thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I mean, having run a few businesses here and there, I can agree more that starting small helps you in preparing to go bigger and to scale up. And also information. Sometimes for me, all you need is someone telling you that go here and you are going to find this. Go here, this person needs this. Or no, don't do it this way. Do it this way. I remember when we first entered the restaurant, I mean, I had just picked up cooking from working with my mom. So nothing like portioning and all that. Then I finally brought in. So that's like I met you. I met my accountant, then Maxwell. He came to eat, was watching football, and said, "Oh, your food is good. I can help you out." We go to the kitchen. I say, "Is that how you do? You cook your jollof on daily basis? Okay, you can do it 2 days. Or even if you're going to cook, you need to portion it. So initially we'll cook the jollof, leave it, and then when anybody wants to buy, it's given to you right from the pot. We warm it and then serve you. So you need someone who knows the way to guide you. And there are things that you learn by doing. Some things, information is good, but information won't teach you. I mean, it tells you how it will look like if you do it well.
Yeah.
But if you fail at it because you started small, you know that if we try this and we don't do it well, we are going to fail. So I believe that starting small prepares a way for you to get bigger.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's almost an hour. Let's see. What would you say that as a way forward for someone who is looking at going into agriculture? I mean, I make a lot of noise about coconut. I make a lot of noise about palm because for me, it's easy. It doesn't require me to be on the farm regularly. So that works for me. Beyond these things that I'm looking at, what is in all the things that you are doing that I don't see that should probably shift my attention when anybody wants to go into agriculture, into what you're doing?
Okay. So if you want to go into agriculture, don't just go into it because you have money to spend. Go into it because you know your customers. Who are you targeting? What are you even selling in the first place? Agriculture is big, it's vast. There's piggery, there is cattle, there is poultry, there's so much. There's snail, there is fish farming, there's so much in there. Crop is not, and even crop, we have so many crops. You know, you need to know your target market. You need to know what they want. How do you find them? How do you reach them? Answer those questions and you have your foot in there.
Okay.
Now, who do you work with? How do you find the skills that you need? You probably do not have any skill in agriculture, right? But know this, as much as you're bringing experts on board, it does not hurt to do some research. It does not hurt to learn how to grow something. If it is crop farming that you're going into, try growing some crops. Appreciate the difficulty in growing crops. Appreciate the ease in growing crops. If you do that, you make the life of the experts you're bringing on board much easier. Because when they see something, you understand. You need to understand what they are saying. Don't just take their word for it every time, right? So when you have all of that, you just need to give yourself time, experience the flow, right? One thing that we don't use a lot in agriculture is statistics. And I would advise anyone going to agriculture to invest a bit in that. Give
Numbers.
it in numbers. The numbers count.
All right.
If the number says it's not adding up, it's not adding up. Don't say that it is well. No. Let's not just leave it at that.
All right.
Just because it looks good does not mean it is good. If the number says otherwise, it's otherwise.
That's true.
Yes. So let's look at numbers when it comes to agriculture as well. How much are you supposed to supply to your customers? The space you have available, would you give you that yield?
How often do you need to supply?
How often do you need to supply?
Will you meet the timeline and all?
Will you meet the timeline? Your cost, does it outweigh your returns, your revenue? Does it outweigh that? If it does, then it's not feasible. It's not viable. Don't say that, it's the first year it will outweigh. The second year we'll find a way to balance it out. Then do the planning now and see if the second year it will actually balance out. And whose money are you using for a whole year? That is not.
Or you're getting investors.
Yeah.
All right.
And investors want money. That's why they're investing in you.
You are business to the investor if they're not going to
Exactly.
make money.
And if you're going, lot of young people have nice ideas with agriculture and they are going in hoping to convince investors to do that. That is good. Don't lie to the investors. Because agriculture is a big risk.
It is.
Yes, it's dicey. If you lie to them, make it all rosy if it backfires.
So I have a piggery. We did a piggery. In the first 2 years, in the second year, we won the best pig farmer for the district.
Nice.
The next year, swine flu.
Poof.
We have just about 8 pigs on the farm now.
Wow.
Then it was around the same time we had the restaurant running. Then I decided to do coconut. We did coconut, almost everything within. I mentioned that to you. The flood and all that. So you know what I decided to do?
No.
Now I have coconuts growing at home. So I have 3. I'm monitoring them to see how they behave and they've done almost a year now. I have mangoes also growing at home, trying to monitor all this before I actually go out there large scale. Because for me, I still believe that coconut it's very easy for me to do. Palm is also easy to do. So these I can, but know what you're going into. I mean, we used to farm growing up, but it was largely lettuce, tomatoes, cabbage, carrots. So everybody had a garden. You do take about a third to the house. You're allowed to sell the 2/3 and then to keep the revenue, keep the money to yourself. So these things have been fun, but I feel that vegetables require a lot of attention.
Oh, they do. They are short-term crops.
Yeah.
Lettuce, a month is ready.
They require a lot of attention.
Peppers,
so
2 months.
I shy away from that. Maybe I was mentioning the orange flesh potato.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could do. Yeah, but vegetables. What keeps you in this space? Because you're doing herbs, you're doing vegetables. How are you managing that?
How am I managing that? Well, what keeps me in this space?
Yeah, is the money good or just
the money is good?
Yeah,
the money is not bad at all.
All right.
I'm good at it. Let's say that.
Yeah.
I'm good at it. Challenges do come, but we solve them as they come. Sometimes it gets hard, but we do solve them. I think it's possible. It's very possible. It's not that difficult. I think it's being proactive helps. Yeah, you see the problem ahead and then calculating the seasons. I said now I can tell. I know I wouldn't tell you, but I know what products customers want at what period of the year.
Okay.
So over the years now, experience has helped with that.
Yeah.
We can say that, okay, January to April, we need to have a lot more of this, less of this.
All right.
Because demand is for that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yes, and this comes from data. Yeah.
And experience doing it over a period of time.
I know that January to April, this pest is prevalent.
Okay.
Work towards it. Or don't grow this crop, grow this other crop.
Yeah.
Companion the crop with this other crop because that crop repels that pest away from your main crop.
All right.
Use the cropping systems in there. You would lose a few, but then you learn from it. I can liken, someone might not agree with me, but I can liken marketing, digital marketing, to agriculture a bit. One thing that excited me about digital marketing when it comes to website management was analytics, right? How analytics, as I'm running an advert, as it's running, I see the data and it's telling me that, okay, more people are liking this ad copy that I have posted as opposed to this other one.
Yeah.
I'm spending a lot more on this other one that people are not liking as opposed to this one. I'm going to stop this one.
Yeah.
And
clicks, how many people are watching? Who is watching the entire video?
Exactly.
How many people watch
the bounce rate and all of that.
Yeah.
And then I know whether I should I should stop it as it is now or wait till all the money is finished.
Yeah.
So I get to solve the problem before it becomes crazy.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I believe with that understanding and that practice in reality, it helps to overcome a lot of things before they become so bad that you can't do anything about it.
That's true. Growing up from basic school to secondary school and then to uni, I mean, what actually shaped you into what you do now? How did you grow up?
Yeah. Yes, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, so growing up, I grew up in Ho,
Okay.
right? Volta region, Ghana. Yes, I mean, my whole life, that was all I knew.
Okay.
Basic school, junior high, yes. High school, just senior high, I went to Akosombo. That's Akosombo International.
Okay.
That was somewhere in 2010. Yes, I was
Alright.
part of the 2010, 2013. We were the people that did the 3 years.
3 years, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
We had a good time
Okay.
instead of the 4 years. It was an amazing period in my life
Okay.
because I found myself doing so many different things, sports, athletics, and all of that.
Whoa.
Because we have a lot of bent up energy inside us and we need to release it somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So I did home economics actually.
Wow.
Yes, I did home economics. It was exciting. Food,
I mean, food brought us together, so
yeah,
I know.
food brought us together.
Yeah.
Yes, food was something. I just chose the course because I needed to choose a course, but it transformed my life. It actually is part of my journey till today. Yes. But one course I enjoyed back in school was management.
Okay.
Yes, I studied that in home economics.
That
Can you
explains
imagine? Yeah. And it was like, okay, so management is this exciting, right? You need to plan things, you need to manage things. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay with it.
Okay.
So that also stuck out during my junior high.
Okay.
University, tertiary, that was Central University.
Okay.
I had my first degree there. Management studies.
Okay.
You see the correlation?
All right. All
Yeah.
right.
I was conflicted about what to do. I was very confused because growing up, parents want you to do something, and inside you everything else is fighting it.
Okay.
Yes, so I was like, okay, let me do something that makes everybody happy. Management because I can come support my parents' business,
Okay.
and management because I can do whatever I want to do as well.
That's good.
So far as I know how to manage anything, time, money, business, that kind of thing. Yes. Central University was a period in my life that I discovered so many things. I discovered marketing.
Okay.
I discovered myself in vlogging,
Okay.
more like blogging. Yeah.
Then,
Because
okay.
we had internet, so always researching and writing short copies and posting it on my little blog.
Okay.
Yeah, that no one was seeing but
Wow.
me. And I did a few freelance marketing for free
Okay.
for people that I knew had businesses because I enjoyed it and I had all the time in the world.
Okay.
And what else did I do? Oh yes, I became an ambassador, brand ambassador for Busy at the time.
Okay.
Yes,
Busy internet.
Busy internet.
Okay. How
yeah.
did that come up?
So the school reached out to a couple of students, best performing students, because Busy wanted ambassadors from various schools.
Okay.
And we were interviewed, a lot of us, more like 100 plus students, and then they shortlisted, and I was part of the final few. I remember that interview was very different in the
Okay.
sense that the final interview, I sat down, no, I actually got there, and I was standing there for a bit, panel of 3 people, and one of the ladies, she was a bit, I don't know, she was just, let me put it as weird, right? So I'm like, can I sit down? And as I am asking the question, I'm sitting down. And she gets offended. Goes like, who asked you to sit down? I'm like, what? In my head.
Okay.
Not out
I
loud.
like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All of a sudden, I realized she didn't like me, from the get-go. But I was like, keep calm, just let it happen. But one of the people on the panel, she was like, "Oh, I know this lady. She's everywhere. She's organizing programs, events, and I didn't know she noticed me, the other woman. But then she advocated for me. She doesn't know me on a personal level,
Okay.
but she has seen me at the dean's office trying to advocate for financial literacy
Okay.
programs on campus and other things. So in her mind, she is something,
Okay.
right? So that saved the day, really.
Wow.
I have a feeling that was why I became an ambassador.
Okay.
I mean, I passed through that first
Phase,
stage.
okay.
Yeah, before I went for the other interview with Busy.
Okay.
Yeah, that was an interesting period.
All right. So you became an ambassador for Busy whilst you were still in Central.
Yes.
What level was this?
Oh, this was level 400.
Okay.
My final period in school.
Okay.
Yeah, that was when I became ambassador for Busy.
Okay.
It wasn't that long a period. It was a short ambassadorship program, but it was enlightening because we had events that we had to go, outside school.
Okay.
And students, me at the time was not so much of an extrovert, so yeah.
Okay.
That was some exposure.
All right.
Yeah.
So combining your ambassadorial role with Busy and then finishing Central doing national service, how did it all play into your first job? Did you work with Busy? Where did you go after school?
Okay, so my first job, actually, let me take you back again.
Okay.
When I got to Central University level 100, there was this competition. It was Google AdWords competition.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. That was in level 100 first semester. From senior high school, I was doing sports, right? So I was hoping university, I would do sports. I would run 3,000 meters, or play football, or play hockey or volleyball.
Okay.
But there was no active sports as much on campus for me. So made me dull. And I was looking for something else
to fill that space.
Yeah, to fill that space. And I heard of the competition. I was part of the IT club. I'm like, okay, I'm joining. I knew nothing
about IT
then.
Home econs, sports, so
exactly.
Yeah, IT wasn't something new.
Yeah, I just got in my laptop fresh too.
Okay.
So yeah.
I know that feeling.
I registered. I got 2 other people that I just met to register to be a team of 3.
Okay.
That was the minimum they needed.
Okay.
I wrote the pre-campaign report, Then they gave me the funding, not literal money. Yeah, but they gave it to me in terms of ad credit.
Okay.
I used an NGO. So the idea was to promote an NGO, right, online, using Google AdWords platform, promote them, make them visible.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did that. I did most of the work, but it was fun. It was all fun. So I got noticed by the coordinators of the Central University division.
Okay.
Although I did not finish gracefully.
Okay.
This is what I mean. So the time allotted for submission of the post-campaign report was supposed to be 6 a.m., right? But it wasn't Ghana time.
Okay.
I read, when I just saw 6 in my head, it was 6 p.m.
I know how.
Yeah. I got online around 1 p.m. I was ready with everything. My report was, amazing. I was happy.
Wow.
And the portal was closed.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very sad. That was when I learned, keeping to my time and deadline and really cross-checking over and over again. Yeah. So during my final year, I was doing my project. I had to go to Accra High Street to go interview some people from Barclays at the time, now ABSA.
Okay.
And I meet one of the coordinators, along the road.
Okay.
Yes. And he goes like, "Hi, I know you." I said, "Yes." So we just talk pleasantries.
Okay.
And he goes like, "So
what
am I doing?" And I'm like, "I'm good. Prepping to finish school, service and all of that." I was like, "Okay. Where have I applied to, or where will I be going to?" I said, "I don't know."
Wow.
I was like, "Okay, we are interviewing people to for our company, national service. If I'm interested, I don't need to go through the interview. They will just, give me the letter. I send to national service and it's done." But at the time, I didn't see myself in marketing.
Okay.
So I was like, "Okay, thank you." I never go back to him. Yeah. I never go back to him until it became very critical when I was posted to some village across many rivers in Volta region.
Which part of Volta was that?
I don't even remember.
Was it in the town area? Or?
I think it was the town area.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, where I was posted to, there was no lights.
Okay.
By the way, I was like, no, not happening.
Okay.
So getting to the, the last bits of the posting, I remembered him and I called him.
Okay.
I was like, okay, it's very late, but they can. So they gave me the letter I sent to National Service, and that's how I got my posting, and it was a marketing agency.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did my service there. That was one of the most impactful periods of my educational life.
That's good.
Yeah.
Marketing for me, I think, so I did development studies with my first degree. I really think maybe social marketing, I came across social marketing, but pure marketing wasn't something that I came across at an early age or early stage in my educational career. I really got into marketing when I started pursuing an MBA, and I realized that I keep telling my colleagues that I should have probably studied marketing. I think it changes everything. If you take a job as a marketer from the beginning, the exposure, the people you meet, the experiences you gather, I believe that whatever you put your hands to after that, you should be able to do it. What projects or what were you marketing? What sort of marketing were you doing? Was it online? Was it in person? How was your work?
Okay, so the company is called Click Africa. At the time, Click Africa was a startup, right?
Okay.
They were under the Ghana Multimedia Incubator program.
Okay.
Yeah, it was run by MTN and NITA together. Yeah, so they are primarily into digital marketing, and then secondarily into traditional marketing. That's billboards, radio, and other things, promotions for customers. They handle customers both locally and internationally. International customers that want to market within Ghana, they handle that because they have Google accreditation. So Google literally recommends them to international players for marketing in Ghana. So so I was mostly doing digital marketing.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. So fast forward, did you stay there after national service?
Okay. So I mentioned that was my most impactful learning period in terms of education. Yeah. So in 6 months being there, I had absorbed so much. That was when I learned photography.
Okay.
I learned graphic design.
Okay.
I learned website management. Yes, because I was system administrator.
Okay.
They had a CRM, so I was managing the system. But at the same time, I was coordinating digital marketing. I was attending to customers. Digital marketing, I had customers, like 4 or 5 customers I was handling at the same time.
Yeah. Different
industries. So that gave me that exposure. Now, 6 months into my service, my friends had confirmation of if they were going to stay at the company they were having their service with. Mm-hmm. And I was anxious, like, wait, what is happening? I put in all my efforts, right? Sometimes I stay over, after work.
Put in extra hours.
Yeah, I put in extra hours. So I was a bit, Yes, they have made hints before, but I'm someone that I want to hear it.
You want to know whether you're in or not.
Exactly. I wanted to know if it was happening or it wasn't happening. And they were not forthcoming with that. They were not that I even asked. You didn't ask? Yes. I was a bit too shy at the time to ask. I felt it was too forward, too direct. Yeah, so I didn't ask. So instead, a friend of mine came and was like, okay, I saw this job opening online for a digital marketer. I'm like, okay, let's apply. So I applied.
And they called you?
And they called me. Now I'm conflicted, right? Because 6 months into my national service, I'm going for an interview whilst I'm supposed to be at work. So I communicate with one of the bosses, which wasn't the best way to go about it. But then that I had to step out of the office to go have a meeting and all of that. I went to have it. They were impressed. I went for 2 other interviews and I got the job.
Wow.
Yes, 6 months into my national service.
Wow.
Yeah. But good thing, according to the law, you can actually leave after,
And
6
after
months,
6 months,
if you
yeah.
have work doing at the
Okay.
time. Yeah.
All right. So that's how you got your first job after.
My first job.
But I see how everything you did from secondary school, the fact that you were into sports, you didn't have the opportunity to do that, pushed you into going into the whole tech thing that you did, the Google Art competition, and then how all that built into the experience, the people you met, the network, and how you got your national service, and that built you into getting your first job. Now, I know that when I first saw you, it was all about social media, how I could put a restaurant out there and everything. So what was your role at this new job that you took 6 months into your national service?
Yeah. So originally, my role was supposed to be that of a digital marketer, where I handle everything digital in terms of marketing for the business, looking at advertisement, looking at website management, graphics, as well as social media management. So everything digital marketing for the business. But then I had to take up traditional marketing as well, because an integrated approach was best.
Okay.
Right. For the first bit, I worked also as a salesperson.
You go out there.
To go out there, you know, although that wasn't originally the plan, but that happened because necessity demanded it. So that was mostly it. After a while, when sales personnels were employed, I was mostly supervising them. Supervising them in terms of their work, and then doing my work as well. So as time went, my work just became bigger and bigger, and I was applying photography. Because good photos counted. Videography, I started doing video shoots.
So you did these video shoots yourself, you plan with the client, you go take the pictures yourself, do the bench work.
Yes. For the company I was working with, right? So it's a training institution as well. So you train people in telecom and everything. So I write scripts, build up a content plan for vlogging, and then I shoot these videos with the students as they are doing their practicals. Yeah, I even climbed the tower a couple of times.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun. I learned a lot there too.
Wow.
Did all of these things just to get the content right. And I enjoyed every bit of this. There was no dull moments for me. Yeah, it was always good. So all of these things, different things that I've experienced, all came together. It became a bit more holistic, because videography was happening, graphics was happening, because I was designing graphics for the company. Marketing, Google AdWords brought me back to Google Ads, because I was using that for advertisement for the business. YouTube ads and all of these things, we're also playing it in social media, which I learned from my national service. Yes, because I played with, the right word is I work with different brands, right? Fashion, furniture, construction, banking,
anything that required marketing,
hospitality,
everything came.
Yes, I work with different brands, in different industries. So it gave me a bit more exposure. It opened my mind to different ways to doing things. So it's exciting to go into telecom, because I hadn't worked with a telecom brand previously, but I could use some ideas from previous brands, bring it into telecom, and it worked.
Wow.
Yeah.
What would be the most valuable lesson you pick from all this? If you connect the dots from your interest in secondary school to tertiary, national service, what do you think stood out and that brought all these things together?
Okay. I think my attitude was also very important. I was willing to learn. I was curious.
All right.
I wanted to understand everything. If something I just smell anything at all, I want to understand it. I don't limit myself that, this is what I'm doing, so I'm not going to. No, I want to understand it. I've always told myself something, that is, I have not reached my limits. I want to get to my limits, where I know that I've tried my very best and there's nothing else I can do. If I can't get there with anything at all, then it is not done. I have to. So attitude was one big thing. Another thing was allowing your life to be a journey, not being so rigid,
Okay.
right? And be like, this is it.
That's what I want. And
Yeah,
this
this is it. Be open to learning new
new
things.
Okay.
Learning played a very big role because 6 months I found myself doing presentations every Wednesday. Aside my work, learning something new and teaching everybody else. And when you are pouring into someone else in terms of knowledge, you are
That's the last stage of actually knowing that.
exactly
the learning process.
exactly you are even gaining more
Yeah.
because they'll give feedbacks, and when they are negative, it will force you to go to the drawing board and then check
improve.
yourself and all of those things. And learning and applying at the same time is just great. It's amazing. So those are some of the
That's good. So, when we were coming, on our way here, you mentioned that you get your team to also learn, make presentations, and teach everybody else. I see that even though now you work for yourself, you can say, I may be wrong, that everything else you've done working for other people has built you to build your company the way you are building. Even before we talk about the company, is that something, would you say that everything you did right from uni, national service, your first job, plays a big role in what you do now?
Yeah, you're right on that. Yes, everything plays a big role because both the positive and negative experiences, it wasn't rosy. Those experiences have made me who I am.
All right.
It has showed me that this is something you should never do to someone else.
All right.
Because you did not enjoy it when it was being done to you. So don't do it to anybody else.
I like that.
And also the things that work, that, okay, just like what the culture my national service institution had, the culture of continuous learning. I know that that helped build me in terms of knowledge. So it's something I want to carry and do with other people. So a lot of things.
I personally, for me, I believe that agriculture is the future.
It is.
If I really want to make it big, I'm happy to see a female in that space. On our way, I was saying that I want to retire on a big farmland somewhere. Have everything.
The dream homestead.
So it's big. Female in agriculture. How many people do you see in the space? Or how many females do you see in the space doing this? Do you have a network of females in agriculture or anything of that sort going?
Well, there are a few women in agriculture.
Okay.
I'm part of the Agri-Woman Foundation program for sure that brings women together, women in agribusiness. But that's agribusiness, right?
Okay.
It's not necessarily agriculture.
Just agriculture,
Yes.
The value chain, everything
exactly.
in there.
People who are even processing peanuts and all of those things, they're also in there. So I'm not currently, not yet, I think it's something I should really dig deep and look for. Women in farming.
Agriculture,
Yes.
Hardcore agriculture.
Hardcore agriculture farming. That would be good. I met a couple of women, Ghanaians, in farming, a few of them through an international program that I participated in. We just ended AWEC. It's for the whole of Africa, females in entrepreneurship. And it has a portal that gives you different people all across the Africa that are part of the program, the industry they are in. So I was able to spot. I searched for agriculture and I found a good amount of ladies in there, and I've networked with them. So that is that. But I don't have any of them within my region. Some are in the northern region, some are in Bono, and all of that. So they're a bit dispersed. Never met in reality, in physical,
that's fine.
Location.
I want to say a big thank you for sharing time with us. Thank you for the friendship. It's been about 4 years. We barely talk, but
I know.
whenever we do, there's a lot of ideas to share. So it's been good having you. I will call you, and I will need you to let everybody know that I actually did call in and that the garden is running. So show them evidence.
I'm here for you.
All right. So thank you very much. I owe you fufu, so we'll agree on that.
You owe me fufu. Don't worry, when I finish, I'll go take some detox.
All right. Thank you very much, Diamond, for spending time with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you.